Hey, welcome. This is ՕYÁШERÍÁLÀ TORAH Research Institute. Now, in this class, we are looking at the origin of ancient Hebrew letters. Yeah, welcome. So we are here. Actually, these letters. One thing about these letters is that is a creation of letters. Is people looking at they already have the sound. They are already communicating. They talk to each other. They have a speech. They have their words. But what they're just looking at, they're looking for how to put down their words, how to put it down on paper, put it down on clay, writing material, on irons, how to document whatsoever they are saying. So, and this is how, by the understanding that Oyoiwa has given us here, because all this we are doing is by the knowledge of Oyoiwa himself. It is the help of Oyoiwa. He is the one that reveals the understanding of his name. But how will we have known that the Y, the YH, and then the Y, the YW, and then the YHWH, they are actually the same thing, if not that Oyoiwa himself has revealed this thing unto us. So he's the one that has revealed these things, and then so we are working on it, and we are teaching it to all. So what Oyoiwa has revealed to us, so actually helping us as if we are going back into the mind of those that created all these things. So we're going to start from the first. So looking at enlarging it. So this is the first letter. There's a first letter. So now this is the basis of all these letters. They have sound, they have words. So they are looking for something to put down to represent each sound. So now the first thing they did is to mark out the sounds that they want to represent. So after separating and having distinguished those sounds, so what they simply did was looking for an object, a common object. Most importantly, the one that are being put to daily use, that has that particular sound as the first letter in its name, either the first or second letter. The first sound. The first sound. Some if you look at it very well, when we look at it, it's actually the first, because they ignore the other consonant. The other vowels. The vowels that they did not recognize. There's some vowels they did not recognize that they did not pen down as if they are they did not use, and that's one of the reasons why the Hebrew letter, the ancient Hebrew, was lost. Because the vowels, the other vowels that were not, in the Abjad system of writing, they did not really recognize so many of the vowels. So, and that's one of the reasons why, except you were taught, you will never be able to read those letters, because you will not know the real vowel sound that should follow. So they just look at those consonant sound, the one. Common daily things that has the daily appearance, that has this particular, or daily occurrence that has this particular sound in it. So we're going to start. So now for this one, for this this first one is ha. So they use aleifa. Aleifa is that is ifa is to pull something that dragging something that is dragging. So aleifa means something that is before the drag. That is something that is doing steering up the source of the strength. So they use this. They use the head of an oxen, because in the ancient time, it is the oxen that used to stay before the pool. Is the one. The pool is actually majorly the rope. So they are the one that lead the pulling. So aleifa. So they are the one that lead pulling. Aleifa. So they use the head of an oxen to represent that sound, because it is the common object, the most common thing, substance whatsoever existence that is common to them, that have that sound. Then the second one is the B sound. The B sound is they use the word, they choose the one iba eiti, that is a compound, somebody's dwelling place. Iba means where someone settle down to, where you settle down, settlement, or abode, place of abode. So iba eiti, so that is abode of, dwelling of, abode of. So it's a iba eiti, because of course everybody need a house, so they use that word iba eiti to represent the sound B, the B sound, which is also in their word. So that means instead of saying A for apple, for them it is what? A for aleifa, or I know A for aleifa. So aleifa, which is the oxen, becomes the object that stand in for sound, for the R sound. So anytime they are writing and there's an R sound they want to put down, they put the head of an oxen. So whenever there is a B, whenever there is that B sound, they put what? They put this shape of a compound, like abode, a settlement, abode, a home, abode. Then for G sound, they use this. They use this shape like a rectangle, a kind of a well-cornered rectangle. That is and they said to me gunmole, that is something that is perfectly so we call it gumole, or we call it igumoli, that is there is edge is on it. Now this one is perfectly gumole, that is it's perfectly stable, that is at 90 degree, or gumole, perfectly corner to the ground. But this one is not to the ground. It has a corner, but not to the ground. So that's why we choose not to call the two gumole. So this one will perfectly fit into gumole. But considering this, so we choose igumoli. That is, they have what? They have edge. They have this corner. They have igumoli. That is something that has something that has an edge. So this name igumoli covers the early Hebrew letter, and then even this modern and Paleo letter. So igun, like something that has edge. So that means for the sound G, they look for this word igumon, that is something that has what? Edge. Igun, corner, the corner. Then for the sound D, they choose what? Dilieti, that is block at the edge. So you can see the shape is that like as if a cup that is covered, or a bowl or whatever that is covered at the top. Dilieti, that is block, something that is blocked at the edge. Something like what? Block at the edge. Dilieti. So that means that occurrence is very common to them, so that enough to represent the letter D. Even Yoruba today, you say when somebody is not hearing word, they say as your ear being blocked, being blocked. So they use this object that is an object that is being blocked at the edge. For what? For D, and they call it dilieti. So then for the E sound, they choose that is somebody praising. Of course, that's what they do every day. They praise, they give praise to the Creator, and to worship, to lift two hands in what? In so that is that is praise. And also then we have this, which is the we sound. This is the we sound. So this is the we sound, and this we sound is represented with iwo. That is a kind of iwo. It's like a peg. Peg. They use iwo. It's a peg. Also it was sound for something that they used to peg. No, then they used to have it. They live in tent, so they need something to always peg their house. So it is what? Iwo, and you can see the shape too. So it is they call it iwo. It entered the ground. It pinned the roof of the tent into the ground. And they also use it like to catch to trap fish. They put something around, but actually metallic iwo, like hook. So by the time the fish come and carry the worm, it's platelets we hang on the hook of the iwo, and then it will be come up. So that is iwo. So of course they use it in fish, and they use it in a pegging house. So it is so common for them to stand to represent what? The sound we in their documentation. So you can see this is a tough work that was simplified. So it shows that these people are not they are not our ancestors. Now bringing this out as Hebrew letter, as their letter, it's not just, this is more than adoption. This is their home. It shows that they own this thing. They make these letters their home by what? It is not now. The Yorubas adopted the alphabet, the ABC, so Yoruba cannot see the way what I'm saying about these letters now and about their languages and the name and everything fitting to their language. Yoruba cannot make this claim. Yoruba cannot do this because they just lazily adopted other people's letter, so they cannot see what I'm saying, and they cannot claim this with the English letters that they are using. So now we can see. So this is the K sound. The K sound. The K sound we call keita. That is to cut out, to separate out. Like it's a room. We have a whole space. Then you now cut out into two. You cut it out. You divide it into two. You separate something out. So it is to cut out, and then or to portion out. So the K sound, and they use this object that is cutting out to represent, of course, dividing of land is cut out. You have a big tent, you have to divide into smaller places. You have a shops and everything like that. So they call it keita, that is cut out, separate out. And so they use that word, and they use this diagram for that, representing that word, which is common to them, and they see it. They deem it that it is common enough to represent what? Their letter K. That is the most common word that can stand in for letter K. That every one of them we understand. We know that yes, this is K. Then also we have the word Z sound. We have the Z sound. So what they use is son or yono. Son or yono. Son or yono is Z sound. So it's son like son or yono. Like is oyono is something that grew on the road, which is grass. Oyo or not, something that grows everywhere. You know, everywhere. If you don't plant anything, the grass start coming out. They call it oyo. That is something that come out on its own. Oyo or not, something that grow on the pathway. So son oyo no, zon oyo no. Now we Yoruba we call it son because we've lost the sound Z. We've lost that sound seed. So now say son, but it's actually zon oyo no. Like it's to cut. So this thing is what? It's for cutting. It's for cutting grasses. It's for farming. For cutting grasses. So it's zon oyo no. So just what we use cutlass for today, to cut grasses. So this is what they use in cutting their grasses. So in the farming, so they use it. They take this object and to represent the letter Z in their word, in their communication. They have the Z sound in their communication, and they use this object that have Z in its name, which is zon or yono, to represent it, which because it is what they use daily and what every one of them know as having Z sound. So they use it as what? As a representative for Z sound. Then we have the T, te at te, te at T. This is a T. So to represent T sound, they use this object, which is what? Something that they use for display of goods. Te at te. That is spread, displaying leaf. Now these are the things that they use in market every day. When you go to market, you put it on the ground, you put your goods you want to sell on it. So te at te, that is for displaying goods. So they use it to represent the letter T. So for us now, as we're looking at it, now going through their mind, it looks as something that is very, very cheap and very, very easy. Yes, that is because Uyoiwa has enabled us and makes it easy. But for them, then they will have to sit down, dialogue, together, and now think how they want to do and go about it. Now this is a Y sound. Y sound is a Y. So they use this sound to represent this structure to represent their Y sound, which is yo. They are as if a hand that brought out something. Yo de. When a hand brought out, yeah, bring it out. Yeah, yo de. Yo de. Yo that is bring what is in your hand out. So the hand now bringing it out. Yo de. So brought out. So they use a yo de as well to represent Y sound. Y sound. Yo de, like a hand bringing out something. Yo de, bring it out. So they take that to represent, and they use that diagram of a hand bringing out something to represent what? Y sound. Because that they take that word yo de as one of the most commonest words that has Y in it. Okay. So then we have a key sound. Key sound. Now you have keita. This KH, so as H. So the Kapo, kapo, kapo. That is what? Kapo, 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 kapo. So it is like you fold. That is folding something that you can see as if a hand like this, now fold like this. So that like a mature drawing of hand. It could be also maybe you're folding something like this. Now fold it straight away so that the kapo, that is to fold together. So they use it to represent the word, the sound, the crash sound, the crash sound. So that derived from just the K sound. Then you have the. And one of the things why this might have been necessitated is because since they don't have understanding of the vowels in the abjad, they don't have understanding of vowels. So it is possible they take a single sound and the same K and still take it like twice. So, and even in I think in having 2K here, and it's also what happened in English. That you have C and then you have also K separately, and the C always sound like the K, the cook. So you see cook. So and the C we have K. So then we have here we have the li sound. Li. This is a li sound. So use lomo. They use this staff. That is a long pole that now that curved in opposite direction. Lomo odi. That is twist backward. Lomo odi. It turns upside down in the opposite direction. Lomo odi. Lomo odi. So it's a staff that is being used for walking. Adults use it for walking. In Yoruba people still use it today. And you see the curve like in the hand of elders. They use it for walking. They rest on it. And also it's being used by what? By shepherds. It's being used by shepherds in the ancient times too. So lomo odi. They have the sound mi. They have a mi sound, and they look for what to use, and they use the most common object that has mi sound in it around them, which is a water. And this is a name for water. Omi. Eyemi. That is shaking, never stop shaking. That is the name they call water in the ancient times. Omi. Eyemi. Now it shows that these people are not. They are scientific in all their approach, even in the name they give to all the objects around it. They look perfectly before they give name. And you can see the Yoruba coming in that is all the words that have been names that have been talking are perfectly Yoruba name that depict the object, the drawing that represents those particular letters or those particular sounds. Then we have a ni sound. So what you have here is like o nini or nini. So we have a nini or nili, that is its owner has something like a seedling. A seedling looks as if it is nothing, but it is actually it's very potential. It is powerful. It is a source. It is the father of any plant, of anything that you see. Seedling. So this is a growing seedling. So this seedling, whoever has this seedling has something. Whoever does not have seedling, if you have food, you have plenty of harvest, and you did not have anything for seedling, you have nothing. It shows that next harvest you will have nothing. But if you have seedling, if you have kept some for seedling, you have what? You have some. Even though it looks as if it is small, but what? You have something very, very important that is very, very important, very, very tangible. So say onini, that is one who has it actually possess something. That is, it's talking about the potentiality of this. Though it is small, but it is what? It is very strong. So onini. So they use this seedling, the name, to represent the ni sound. Now even checking it, it has what? Ni in two places. Onini. Then the next one is the C sound. C sound. So they use a ton. Isomo, that is a ton. Isomo. Like a ton used to attach itself, enter people's leg. It's summer. And what is so you say egun ti so lese. So but here we call it egun. That is nkan to ngunyan egun. That's under you can see nkan to ngunyan ape ni egun. But here it is also what? Now we will say egun saw me. So they use the original word saw me. They want to saw me like saw me, isomo. He saw me. That is something that what? That used to that nkan to soyan. Nkan to ngunyan o di egun. Nkan to soyan o di kini isomo. Isomo. So they use this ancient word as what? Isomo to represent what? the C sound is summon, which means turn. And then for the sound or, so they have the sound or in their word. So and they use it to represent it. They use the word or your, like excuse me. They use the eyes. Or your means the eyes, That is something that brings something, that brings that allow you to see through, a see-through hole. Something that bring view or your, something that allow you to see something that so something that it is a see-through hole, a go-through hole. It's like the hole in the needle, the hole in the needle, or a hole in a wall that you can see through. So they call it oyo. That is something that and it's a hole also that you can go, that somebody can go through, that leads from one place to the other side. They call it oyo. So they see the human eyes as what? It is inside and it leads what? To outside. So the human eye is what? Oyo. So from inside out, so it brings view. It allows us to see what is going on outside, and those holes also allow us to see. Now, if you have a hole in the wall, it allows you to see what is happening outside the perimeter of where you are. So they call it oyo, and they also call fountain oyo. Because fountain is like a hole through which water comes from the rock out. So oyo, that is the hair. So that is so they use this eye, the picture of an eye, or like something like a fountain, a hole of a fountain, that, to represent the sound or. Then we have the P sound. They have the P sound. They have the P. They have the P. They have the F sound. But they use the same thing to represent the same object, to represent the same sign, to represent the F and the P sound. They got P sound. What I've noticed that in the two places where I've seen this sign, if sometimes I use the P, I use the F, I still get a Yoruba word that still means the same thing. So I still get Yoruba word. So there are so many times I get Yoruba word that still talking about what that means the same thing. So it shows that these people have an understanding of what I see now, that when I use, whether I use P, whether I use F, I'm still getting Yoruba words that mean the same thing as the P and the F. So it shows that when they were forming this word, they must have seen that this thing is used interchangeably. So let's use the same representative for the two of them. So I think that is why the P and the F have the same representative in ancient Hebrew. So and it means to queen. Now queen means as if you divide it, and it also means fe. To fe means open up. Oti fe, it has open up. Queen, that means it has open up. Queen, and now it is now it now divide it now. It is now dividing inside. That is oti queen. That is so it's what? It's stretching out. Then fe, it is widening out. So it's both is talking about what? Opening up. So they use this as if a mouth, something like is opening up to present the P sound, and then the P sound, and then the F sound. So yeah, it's they have the T sound, the TS sound, and they use the word isaide. It's a hole of a hunt. It's like a hole under the ground where animals used to enter to hide. They call it Isa, and also where roots of plants also used to go. So called Isa. So Isa Ide is like a trail, but mostly under the ground where animals, all those bushmeat used to stay. And sometimes farmers in Yoruba land, they will now be digging the Isa, they'll be digging the Isa to go and get the animals that are inside the hole. And so this one we have this the Q sound, the Q sound, the Q sound. They call together the K and W. Q. The Q sound, and the word they use is what? Kokbo. That is to pack to kokbo. When something comes together, when they enter together, like they enter a hole. Now, if you see the picture here, something coming from the right, from the left, they now come together into that hole, as if it's a funnel, like being channeled into a one place, like a funnel, from this side, and then it's channeled into one spot. So they pack together from here. They now come and they now become packed together into that particular whole. So they use that word kokpo, that is come together, come and stay together, as to represent the kui sound, the kui, and then kokpo, kui, the kw, it was called together. And that's what the English letter are called Q, Q, or it's the qui. So the next one is the re sound. The re sound. So they use the picture of a head that is looking far, as if it is overseeing, overseer, like the head of a leader that is overseeing what people are doing, standing up and seeing what people are doing. That is ori something that is seeing what people are doing, that is looking at what men are doing, like someone like an overseer. So you can say ri-ishe, that is observing what is happening. So it's a picture of a head observing what is happening. Ri-ishe. So we want to make it a noun. The verb, the action itself is what? Ri-ishe. They want to make it a noun. So what to call the person? Ori-ishe. The person that is standing like this, looking like this, what is ori-ishe. But the action itself is what? Ri-ishe. That is observing activities, observing happenings. So and they use that word ri-ishe to represent what? The picture of that ri-ishe to represent the re sound in their communication. And the next one we have is the she sound. This is actually the picture of a teeth. You can say like especially the two front teeth of man is what, of people, of humanity, is what is very sharp. Even some animals who have the front like very sharp, shin, like it's very strong and very tough. Very strong and tough, the two front teeth. So it's a shin, talking about the strength, the stability of the two front teeth. You see the way they show it, the two front, the shin, that is firmness, teeth grip. And then rounding up now, we have the T sound, we have the th sound, we have the T, we have the th, we have the th sound. So in th sound they use a marking, and this marking is like a target where you shoot arrow into. It's a target where you shoot your arrow into. So we call it itawo, or itawo. Like the place where you shoot your arrow into, the place where you have to shoot your arrow into, itawo. So for example, all right, no, let me not mention it. We'll mention it another time. Itawo. That is where the target where you have to shoot your arrow into. Itawo. Set target. Itawo. So that's why it is marked. That is the marking that you shoot that center. So that is itawo. So they use it to represent the sound ta. Sound ta. Different from t. No, t is teate, but it is a ta sound. The ta, like the ta sound. Then we have this. The last one is the b sound. In the modern Hebrews, they don't have the b sound, but in this ancient early Hebrew, they have the b sound. And it is what they use to. It is the picture of a rope that is being knotted. Very firmly. So it's going, and going means something that is very tough. Like it has been tied very tough, so that it cannot loose again. So it was knotted like one time, then second time. So that is what it is very tough. So you see going like tightness of a knot. So that is so this way is, as I've gone through now, is the way all this the sack down, the reason out, this must have taken them days for them to decide and to agree on one particular word, a particular word that should be used for a particular sound. So they must have dialogue properly and a lot of leaders coming together. But by the grace of Oyoiwa, you are getting to know this in just these 2 lectures, because Oyoiwa has made it possible for us to be able to see into their mind. This is only by a Riwa or Oyoiwa. No man has taught this. So you are welcome into this revelation of Oyoiwa. So as you continue to learn more, you say, Iburekun Oyoiwa upon you and your household. Amo ini. Thank you.